Hi, welcome to a new lesson. I'm Niharika. In today's lesson, we are going to learn how to complain in English. Well, rather, how to complain politely in English. Now, what are complaints? Well, complaints are expressions of displeasure or annoyance when some things are unfavorable to you, right? There are so many situations where you just want to express your annoyance. Like maybe you go to a very nice, fine restaurant and the soup served to you at the table has too much of salt in it. Okay, so now definitely you are spending so much for it, you do not want to have that salty soup, right? So you would call out the waiter and start shouting on top of your lungs. Do you think that's gonna work? Well, that's gonna be really rude. So how unfair the situation is, you cannot start shouting on top of your lungs. It's always nice to complain in a very polite manner. Okay, so we are going to have a look at certain expressions here that would help you to express your annoyance in a polite way. The first one we have is, I'm sorry to bother you. Now, when you start complaining by using this expression, saying that, oh, I'm sorry to bother you, well, definitely you are being polite, but it also puts the listener at ease. Okay, maybe this listener has been receiving a lot of complaints throughout the day, and you said, I'm sorry to bother you, would definitely make him feel a little relaxed and at ease, right? So if the situation is not really disturbing, so you can definitely use this expression. For example, you can say, I'm sorry to bother you, but this soup has too much of salt in it. Could you please replace it for me? Okay, so if the situation is not very serious, you can use this. The other one I have for you is, can you help me with this? Now, everybody would always prefer to be requested rather than demanded. Now, if you throw a command at someone, well, definitely people would not like it, okay? It just comes across as a very rude thing. So it is always nice to phrase your complaint as a request. Okay, so the listener would definitely feel a little comfortable and would try his or her best to solve your issue. So can you help me with this is a very polite way where you are requesting to solve the situation. Maybe you sent your favorite shirt to the laundry and now that it has come back, it has these missing buttons. So you can go back to the laundry. Of course, you're annoyed because it's your favorite shirt, but do not show your anger. You can just request him saying, can you help me with this? My shirt came back with missing buttons, okay? So it's a request and I'm sure the listener would help you out, okay? The next one I have is, I'm afraid there may be a misunderstanding. Now here, well, this phrase actually means that your information is incorrect and you need to fix the problem right now. Okay, but you're not gonna say it this way. You are gonna use a very polite expression saying that I'm afraid there may be a misunderstanding. So you can definitely use these phrases, this expression when maybe you are at the airport and the airline has misplaced your bag, okay, or your flight is cancelled, or your hotel reservation is cancelled, okay, and you had already booked it in advance. So you can definitely say that I'm afraid there may be a misunderstanding, and then you can continue with what your complaint is, okay? The next one that I have is, I understand it's not your fault. Now, many a times when we, express our annoyance on someone, it is not actually that person's fault. For example, the airline misses your bag, okay? Now you get to your destination, you walk up to the counter, to the airline counter, and you start shouting on top of your lungs, on the person who's sitting at the counter over there. Well, that's not fair, isn't it? Because she has not lost your baggage. It's the airline. It's someone maybe at your departure time or maybe in between changing your flights that your baggage got lost, right? So this lady or this person is not responsible for it, right? But of course, so you have to, it's not your fault either, so you have to express your annoyance. So you can say that I understand it's not your fault, so at least this person will try to help you out, okay? When she knows or when he knows that you understand that it's not her fault, then she will definitely try to see what best she can do for you, okay? So always start your complaint saying I understand it's not your fault, okay, if the person is not directly responsible, okay? And the last one that I have for you is, excuse me, I understood that. Now, when you are using this expression, excuse me, I understood that, it means that you are well informed and the person, okay, whom you're complaining is maybe trying to take you for granted or trying to take an advantage of you, okay? So you can start using this when you think that this person is not right, what he's saying is not correct. For example, let's take a situation where you take a cab to the airport and you know that it costs around $25 to get to the airport, okay? But this cab driver is asking you to pay $40, okay? So he says, well, it's expensive and it is $40. You just need to cut him, right? You need to interrupt him and you need to say, well, excuse me, I understood that, but it means that don't take me for granted, okay? I know what the amount has to be paid. So it's a complaint, right? You're showing your irritation, you're showing your annoyance, right? But a polite way to say would be, excuse me, I understood that, right? So these are some expressions that you can use to complain in a very polite manner in English, okay? So you can use it next time you're really annoyed and you're really disturbed because of some situations. Go ahead, use this, and I'll be back with a new lesson soon. Till then, you take care. Have a great day. And the last one that I have for you is, excuse me, I understood that. Now, when you are using this expression, excuse me, I understood that. And the last one that I have for you is, excuse me, I understood that.